You voted for the next What If episode, and for this What If episode, I'm going over Cyber Sleuth support. And honestly, there is a lot to address for this game. Spoiler, I have not completed this game yet, so most of my knowledge is secondhand from the game. I do my diligence in researching and where I'm not experienced in myself. But in that regard, I am a fan of the franchise as a whole, and have seen almost every English dub series all the way through. I've already briefly touched on Nokia Shiramine support in the form of a DNA Digivolve Omnimon starter deck, so that eliminates any discussion with Nokia for now. But there's much to discuss with Arata Sanata and Takumi Aiba. As always, if you enjoy these types of videos, do consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that notification bell for more future content. I'll save Takumi Aiba for a more specialized discussion when I'm not in a rush. After all, Takumi alone can provide support for not just one Digimon, but 3. Terriermon, Hagurumon, and Palmon, as these are your choice partners in the beginning of the game. But for this What If episode, this is not going to be up Takumi Aiba. Instead, the focus on today's topic is Arata Sanata and Diaboromon support. Diaboromon support saw considerable boosts in BT5, but since has dropped off again. With metas constantly shifting, this deck has seen a severe decline primarily because of its lack in support and slow play. BT9X Record introduced a slew of support for previous tribal decks, mainly Agumon, Gabumon, and Gyomon. But what if Diaboromon also got the same treatment? Strap yourself in for this What If episode because I'm going over a rookie, a mega, and a tamer for this episode. Like every episode, Diaboromon would get new support in the form of Keramon X, a Digimon that has identical stats to its Searcher Keramon from BT5. With an on-play cost of 3, or a Digivolve from 0, this Digimon gets an on-play and when Digivolving effect that says, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 card with unidentified in its traits, or 1 tamer with Arata Sanata in its name. In addition, like all X-Antibody Digimon, you have the capability to add the X-Antibody option card as well. This card draws a lot of parallels to Agumon X, Gabumon X, and Kokuomon X. But unlike those Digimon, this Digimon trashes the remaining cards. Why, you ask? Well, things are about to blow your mind. Keramon X also has the capability of your turn. If your opponent has a level 6 or higher Digimon, this Digimon can Digivolve into a Diaboromon in your hand for a memory cost of 4, ignoring its Digivolution requirements. This takes further elements from existing cards of starter deck Gyomon and Vmon for a warped Digivolving capability. After all, according to the wiki, Keramon X goes straight into Diaboromon X, and there is no Kurosarimon or Infamon with the X-Antibody. Shame really, because that's a crime in my book for potentially cool looking X-Antibody Digimon. As for this support, I'm also introducing a new Diaboromon as well. Play cost 12, Digivolve for 3. This black card has an all turns effect of, when this card would be returned to your hand or deck by card effect, play 1 Diaboromon token without paying its memory cost. When Digivolving, you may place 1 level 5 or lower Digimon with unidentified in its traits from your trash under this Digimon as its bottom Digivolution source. For every 3 sources, play 1 Diaboromon token. The all turns effect is something that I'll be covering later, but this card in general takes elements from BTA Chimeramon in order to recycle and cherry pick your inheritables from the trash. Maybe you started with a lot of memory and you want the rush for your tokens, or maybe you didn't have enough memory and you're needing to gain back memory off your tokens. Many times you have to spend time finding your Digivolution pieces, but now you can utilize the trash to your advantage. These mechanics are also typical of X-Antibody decks like Alphamon, which is where a lot of these effects were inspired from. But Diaboromon X is where things get a little fun. A white Digimon with a play cost of 13, Digivolve for 4, or Digivolve from a Diaboromon for 1. This card in Digimon is also always treated as Diaboromon, meaning you could potentially Evo it on itself. When Digivolving, if this Digimon has Diaboromon or X-Antibody in its Digivolution sources, Your other Diaboromon Digimon cannot be returned to the hand or deck, and DP reduced until the end of your opponent's turn. In discussions with Eric Edlund, one of your judges in the Digimon trading card game, and Tomo is Real from the Do Work crew, Diaboromon currently lacks the necessary protection for its tokens. As a result, your primary out to these Digimon are red-based effects. Effects like these are also present with black Digimon like Doru Greymon, which prevents deletion and DP reduction, but not bounce. But this Digimon has a special effect that lets you return a Diaboromon from the trash to the bottom of the deck, and make this Diaboromon that Diaboromon's effect until the end of your opponent's turn. This effect can be triggered when attacking or when digivolving, putting it on par with other Digimon's multi-use effects like EX2 Beelzemon. Which takes me to the last card for discussion, Arata Sanata Eater. This 3-cost black tamer can have its play cost reduced by 3 by deleting one Arata Sanata in play. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add one Digimon with unidentified in its traits to your hand, and trash the rest. Main. Suspend this tamer to unsuspend one of your Diaboromon. But lastly, on deletion, play one Arata Sanata from your trash. This tamer utilizes new effects and mechanics that weren't previously seen. It allows you to use an existing tamer and pop it for itself. But on deletion, it brings back the original. In general, for combos, I could see this deck becoming more trash-oriented, playing Keramon in the raise while playing your other Keramon to search for pieces. Assuming your opponent hits Arata Sanata in the security, you can climb up conventionally to Diaboromon, going from Kurosarimon to Infamon to Diaboromon. If multiple Aratas are present, you can tap to place one or multiple tokens on the board to either regain memory or have a large board to rush in with. Deleting your Aratas for Arata Eaters now lets you unsuspend the Diaboromon for extra checks as well. But in general, what are your thoughts on this aggressive support for this What If episode? Do you think Eaters will come to the Digimon trading card game, or do you think we won't see them for another 10 sets? Let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you next time. This is Digi-Panda, logging out.